Hey everyone, and welcome. If you've ever wanted to really get a handle on AI and what it can do, well, you're in exactly the right place. Think of this as your own personal tour of Meta's incredible AI ecosystem. We're going to break down the tools and get you ready to build some amazing things. All right, let's jump right in. For the longest time, this is kind of what AI felt like, right? This super complex, untouchable web of data and code. But that is all changing, and it's changing fast. The world of AI is more open now than it's ever been, and that means all of this incredible creative power is literally at your fingertips. So just imagine this for a second. What if you could just tell an AI to write a movie script for you, or figure out a tough coding problem, or even create a perfect photorealistic image of something that only exists in your head? Well, that's not science fiction anymore. That's the reality we are unpacking today. So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll check out Meta's core AI tools. Then we'll see how you can actually use them in the apps you already have. And most importantly, you are going to learn the absolutely crucial skill of building effective prompts. Okay, let's get into it. The best way to think about Meta's AI is like a brand new toolbox. And inside, you've got a few really specialized tools. Knowing which one to grab for which job, well, that's the whole key. So let's meet your new AI co-pilots. At the heart of this whole toolbox, you've basically got two main models, Llama and Emu. And the difference between them is actually super simple, but really powerful. Llama is your expert for all things language and logic. And Emu? Emu is your visual artist. So you just have to ask yourself, am I working with words and ideas, or am I trying to create a picture? Let's take a closer look at Llama. I want you to think of this as your master wordsmith. It's built to understand all the little nuances of how we talk. It can write poetry, it can summarize a dense article, it can even write code for you. So for example, you could ask it to write a marketing email for a new product launch in a friendly, excited tone. And boom, it'll draft it right up. It's the engine for conversation. And then we have Emu. So if Llama is the wordsmith, Emu is absolutely the digital artist. This model does one incredible thing. It turns your words, your text descriptions, into amazing, high-quality images. You could describe a vintage travel poster for a city on Mars, and Emu just makes it. This is a total game changer for anyone who needs visual content. So you've got your tools, right? Llama for text, Emu for images. But how do you actually use them? The secret, the key that unlocks everything, is mastering the art of the prompt. This is how you talk to your AI. For text, a great prompt really boils down to three simple steps. First, you've got to define the tone. Are you looking for a formal report or a casual blog post? Tell it. Second, add context. Give the AI the background info it needs. A weak prompt is just write about marketing. A strong prompt is something like write 3 bullet points on digital marketing strategies for a small neighborhood coffee shop. And third, and this is so important, iterate. Your first try is almost never perfect, so you have to revise, refine, and tweak it to get closer to what you really want. And guess what? The exact same logic applies when you're creating images with Emu. First, describe your subject with lots of detail. A car is okay, but a classic red convertible driving on a coastal road at sunset is way, way better. Then add words about the style and the lighting. Is it a watercolor painting? Is it a cinematic photo with dramatic shadows? And just like with text, you have to experiment. Refine your prompts until you land on that perfect image. Okay, so we've covered the what and the how, but what about the where? Because this technology isn't just sitting in a lab somewhere. Oh no, it is already woven into the apps you probably use every single day. Let's take a look at the Meta ecosystem in action. Think about it. You know when WhatsApp suggests a quick reply for you? That's AI working behind the scenes. Or when Instagram recommends a video it thinks you'll like, or gives you a fun new creative filter? Yep, that's powered by these models. And on Facebook and Messenger, AI is what personalizes your feed and makes those chatbots work. It is quietly becoming a huge part of our digital lives. So, what's the engine driving all of this? How is all this innovation and integration happening so fast? Well, it really all comes down to a core idea at Meta, an open source philosophy. All these complex gears are working together because the blueprints are being shared with the entire world. And this whole approach really has 3 key parts. First, Meta shares its open weight models. So they're not just sharing the recipe, they're sharing like a partially baked cake, the pre-trained model itself.
This sparks incredible community innovation, because now developers everywhere can fine-tune these models for super specific things like analyzing medical data or legal documents. Of course, it also means striking this really careful balance between making these tools available to everyone while making sure they're used responsibly.
Wow. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground, from the core models all the way to the art of prompting and the open source philosophy that powers it all. So now it's time for you to start your own AI journey. Let's talk about your next steps. So let's just quickly recap the big ideas. First, AI is being seamlessly woven into everything we do online. Second, learning how to write a good prompt is probably the single most important skill you can develop right now. Third, the open source approach is making AI better for everyone, faster. And finally, all these tools together are creating this incredible, powerful platform for creators just like you. And if you want to go deeper, here's where you should look. The Meta AI site is your home base for news and updates. The research papers are there if you want to do a really deep dive. The GitHub repositories let you see the actual code. And the developer community is where you can connect with other people building cool stuff. Because ultimately, this is what it's all about. It's about taking these unbelievably powerful tools and using them to design and to build and to create things that were just never possible before. That barrier between having an idea and actually making it real, it is getting smaller every single day. And that really brings us to the final thought. For the very first time, tools this powerful are available to pretty much anyone. They are here. They are in your hands right now. So the only question left is, what will you build?